Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Care Manager Inner Circle. My name's Jonathan, and it's an absolute delight and welcome to see you here this evening. This evening, we've got a special treat. Now, before we all switch off, we're going to talk about digital security. Now, I know how everyone feels about that, because last year, like everyone else, possibly even the start of this year, we're all filling our digital toolkits. But I've got an absolute superstar when it comes to this. And let me introduce into the studio Nadia. Nadia, good evening, madam.
Good evening, Jonathan.
And let me, there we go. Let's put our little banner up. There we go. Nadia Wakeford. Welcome, madam. Welcome.
No, thank you very much. Thank you for letting me come and speak to you.
It's an absolute delight. Now, just before we get anything to do with digital security or toolkits or NHS websites and any of that sort of stuff, you're a bit of a superstar.
Oh.
Because I read your bio, and it was, I've got to say, it was really impressive.
Thank you.
So I know people are modest, but let me just say, I mean, Nadia, ladies and gentlemen, achieved the Holy Grail, which I know several people have, several people in the inner circle, the likes of our Isaac Theophilus, but Nadia achieved 5 outstandings across her home. She'd already achieved 3. She got the additional 2. Well done. I mean, you're not just, I know you're doing consultancy and stuff like this, but you know, you've been where I am now, and a lot of care managers are now as a manager. But just talk me through that though, Nadia.
So when we achieved outstanding in 3 areas, we didn't really make any special preparations. I was very, very lucky to run the home that I did. I had an extremely committed provider, and we were on the same page, and all we wanted is to provide best possible care. So whilst profit, of course, is important, you know, that's the reason we run a business, but that wasn't the driving force behind the home. So as I said, I was very lucky to have a provider who was very, very committed. And as I said, we achieved it without really any particular effort. I'll tell you a funny story. On the day of the inspection, the provider was away on holiday in Spain. And I wasn't going to bother telling her, so, well, what's the point? She's in Spain. Yeah. So I didn't text her, I didn't do anything. But somebody else did, one of the other staff did. And about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, she turned up. She flew back.
Oh, my God.
She actually flew back, called the inspector in the last sort of hour or so.
Oh, wow.
So we achieved...
I've never heard that is a crazy story.
She was 1 in a million, I must say. And so I said, we achieved outstanding in 3 areas, and we felt robbed. We thought we deserved it in 4. Not like we did not greedy or anything. So when we achieved that, we decided, no, we're going to go for 5 next time. And worked really, really, really hard. But in a way, we both really regretted doing it. It was a bit of a poison chalice, I must say, because you start worrying about every minute detail rather than, you know, first time right. We actually enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun. And once you get to that stage, when you start worrying about every tiny detail, it stops being fun and you just exhaust yourself. So, whilst it's, apart from saying, oh, yes, I achieved outstanding in all 5, it wasn't me in any way. It was, you can't do it on your own. You need a whole team on your side. But that's really the story.
That's very honest of you, because a lot of people would sort of say, oh, it can be truly exhausting. Even, as a home, we got outstanding. God, that was about, it feels like an age. I think that was about 19 in 2018.
That will be the same.
Maybe 2017, actually. And we were one of the first ones. And I think, and this is me speaking now, and I can speak, because I felt, because we did some different stuff, I felt that, I felt we got it because we're doing different stuff. Because the home now, even though it got regraded good, I think we fell a victim to the registering the right support for learning disabilities. So they couldn't regrade us again outstanding because they had all sorts of judicial reviews. But the home is 1,000 times better than anything we achieved when we were outstanding. But, you know, and so thank you for that. It's I always say to people, don't exhaust it. Don't kill yourself over it.
No, and I think, you know, I got to the stage when I was not only because I was so obsessed with it. Nobody was making me, but I was working, you know, silly hours. And I was checking the systems continually. So the first thing you do when you wake up is you check the systems, and you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and something pops into your head, and you send a message, and then you check whether the drugs were done, and you think this is ridiculous. But that is, you just, unless you have a good sort of checking mechanism for yourself, you just drive yourself mad with it.
Yeah, and I mean, well done. So then you obviously, because the people are interested in this. We'll get onto toolkits and all the rest of it in a minute. But so tell me, so at what stage then you'd achieved, you know, the Holy Grail, which is fine. You know, you obviously then thought, I want something different. And
so pandemic started, and before the pandemic started, we sort of got prepared. We were a bit obsessed with it. We were watching all the TV programs from China and then Spain and Italy and whatever. And that ticked along quite nicely. But unfortunately, the business was sold. Or fortunately, whichever way you look at it. Yeah. It just didn't, you know, I just, the ethos was different. We were a bit wacky, a bit different. I said the owner flew back from Spain, and I don't know, it was just different. And I thought, well, you know, I did come to the stage anyway when perhaps it was time to try different things in life. I did exhaust myself. That's absolutely true. I was completely burnt out, and it's my own fault and nobody else's. So I started consulting, which is, it's a great job because you tend to do things, the same things as the manager does. But without the responsibility. So when you go home, you're not checking your messages and your systems and everything else. And then I got involved with DSPT. So I'm running a project for Sussex, and that is East and West Sussex and Brighton and Hove. And it's running Data Security and Protection Toolkit program, which is a national program to help providers complete the toolkit. Yeah,
and we've got many of the members in the inner circle. We're big fans of of West Sussex, I've got to say.
Are you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I've spoken certainly once at their conference, and Isaac's part of it. And so we've got many good members actually. So no, you're in good company. But we like all care associations, and that, you know, it's great that they're part of this. And I say to anyone, you know, if you're part of a care association, you know, reach out, and you know, we want to promote you guys. You know, it's only an association. You can't do it on your own. It's only in teams you can achieve stuff. So no, it's good too. So that was a good little link, though, Nada, to the Data Security Protection Toolkit. There we go.
Indeed, yes. Well, it's not the most exciting project in the world, and there's not a lot of incentive for people to do it right now. Apart from that, the project is running up until mid-December, and then it stops. So up to mid-December, you have the support. After that, you're going to still have to do the toolkit, but you have to do it on your own. It's, you know, I do understand. I was a care manager in my heart, in my mind, and my way of thinking, I'm a care home manager. You know, I've done it for 23 years. And I know how much stress managers are under. And, you know, DSPT, perhaps not the priority, but it is actually useful. It's not that bad. I know in the past, and I think, Jonathan, you did it in the past, and it was just you looked at it. And I know when I looked at it in the past, I thought, what on earth are they talking about? I didn't actually understand the questions. But I have changed them.
It just seemed very complex and overly bureaucratic, and more questions than I really wanted to answer.
And you're absolutely right. There's 144 questions in the toolkit, but only 44 of those relate to social care. But you had to answer all of them. And a lot of them, you just don't know what they're asking you. It's to do with large companies, with the NHS or whatever. And for once, they actually listened to the feedback that providers gave them. So they changed the toolkit. They made it much shorter. So it's 44 questions, and every one of them relates to us, rather than, some massive organizations. And they're actually written in a way that you understand what they're asking you. And there are a lot of useful links. So if you don't have a policy, the link takes you to the policy. If you don't have information asset register, it'll take you and show you an example of asset information register. So it is actually not bad at all. So I completed the toolkit for perhaps 3 or 4 organizations that I consulted for, and it doesn't actually take that long. I think most of us in social care, when GDPR came into force in 2018, I think we all formed this little file, and it's actually, well, didn't we? We all had these files, GDPR, and then we never looked at it again. But it's really vast majority of stuff you need for your toolkit is in there. So there are only a few questions you may struggle with to answer, or maybe it'll take you a little bit longer to answer. Most of them will be really easy, and a lot of them are very simple. You just tick a box. So it's literally, do you have a policy for this? Click. That's it. Question answered.
Brilliant. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's and you're right. When I filled out mine probably about a year ago, so I need to read. So this is an annual.
It is an annual, yes, it is an annual self-assessment. Self-assessment being key here because nobody else is looking at your information. Lately, they're saying they're asking people if they want to be audited by the NHS Digital. You can say yes or no, and they will just, if you say yes, they will audit your toolkit, and they will say you need maybe a little bit more information here or whatever. So it is a self-assessment. You do it online. It has.
I've got some links here because we're rehearsed. There we go.
So this is your digital social care site, and on there you will have a lot of resources, very useful resources. I do like their policies. If you haven't got a policy and you need one, just get it from Digital Social Care. They're very simple. Honestly, they're short and written in a language you understand. And anything that you need to change, it's in bold print. So you don't even have to think and read everything. It's there, so you know what needs changing.
We like that. Sharing is caring in the inner circle.
Absolutely.
Like that.
If anybody can't be bothered going on Digital Social Care, you can just email me and I'll just email you. I only downloaded them from Digital Social Care. But if you want them, I'll just email them to you. Okay,
well that's very kind. And again, I've just underneath there. There we go. Your details. And also there was another one. No, there wasn't there. There's if people are wondering about this ODS code.
So ODS code is something that is completely unknown to social care. But it is widely used in the NHS. So if you don't know your ODS code, you need to go on DSPT on this website that Jonathan's put up, and you just need to put your organisation name. If you can't find it under name, look under address or under postcode, and it will come up, and your ODS code will come up. If you are struggling with your ODS code, particularly if you're from Sussex area, just email me and I'll send you your ODS code. If you are from other areas, by all means, you can email me, not a problem at all. I have access to national data, so I can get any ODS code. But you can contact your care association or your local teams. This is a national program, so all the care associations in the country are running something very similar. So if anybody needs help, by all means, contact me, but I think your care associations might be a bit annoyed if you didn't contact them. I don't mind at all.
But Nada, you make the assumption that everyone has a care association. A lot of people do not have a care association at all.
You are absolutely right.
Yeah. So no, you might have a lot of emails in your inbox tomorrow.
And you know, I'll be delighted because it has been very difficult to engage providers. And I'm not surprised at all. I said, I do understand when, I know a lot of care homes are running with, two-thirds of their staff or half of their staff. Apparently, the care sector has 100,000 vacancies. So, DSPT is the last thing on your mind. So I do understand. But if I had a lot of you come to our events, I'd be delighted.
Yeah, and that's why West Sussex, we love you guys. It's a great association. There's lots of associations, but it's one with that we're very familiar. Now you've got to tell me about that keyboard behind you. we all love music.
Well, it's all Jonathan's doing. So when COVID started, yeah, you can laugh. When COVID started, we found this Facebook group, and I thought, absolutely. So we found this Facebook group, and I thought it was fantastic. It was a lot of people sharing resources, and Jonathan was playing his ukulele. Well, each evening. I was watching you in the evening, so in the evenings I'll be watching, and Jonathan was playing his ukulele, and it just prompted me to get back to music. I do play several instruments, and being busy and running a care home, you don't have time and you don't think of yourself. But it definitely, I don't know, something changed, and I got back to it, and I'm enjoying it immensely.
And I know she's a bit shy, but before she gave me a little private rendition. She's very good. You're very good, Nada.
Well, thank you.
Much better than me on the ukulele, that's for sure.
No, you're very good, I must say.
Well, yeah, even like my mother said the other day, she said, "You're not bad now." That's a typical mother. Doesn't matter what
when I play to my mother, she goes, "You made a mistake." I think, I'm not deaf, I know. You need to tell me.
Look, Nada, it's been lovely. And you live in West Sussex.
Yes.
Which is a lovely part of the world. And family-wise, you've got what family and pets, and you've got...
I am married, and my husband is very patient with me. I don't know how he puts up with me. And I have a cat, and I rescue chickens. So at the moment we have 5 rescue girls, and we have 3 beehives as well. So I think at the moment there's probably about 60,000 bees, but I haven't counted them lately.
Oh my God! Do you have honey?
We have a little bit of honey. We don't get a lot of honey. We tend to leave the bees most of the honey that they need for winter, and we just take surplus, which is not a lot. So maybe, not a lot. But usually we run out by Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Well, Nada, it's been lovely to have you on, and thank you so much. Let me just summarize. So for those of you watching, tonight was about the digital support toolkit. This is about the checklist that we all require to have to access NHS mail. There are other digital applications. Of course, we're on this journey now of digitization. If you're still paper-based, come on, guys, come on. That went out with the dinosaurs. We've got to go digital, I'm afraid. And this is part of the journey that you're required. This is the key to that gateway. And certainly we've been on that journey now for nearly about over 2.5 years now. We can connect with GP surgeries. We can connect digitally with the acute trusts. We've got digital gateways for our residents and relatives. It is just wonderful. And for me as a care manager, the gateway and the dashboard is phenomenal. So, come on board, throw away those paper files. Come on board.
Come my way.
and I was going to say, so you've got Nada's details there. Just to remember, we've got Digital Social Care is a fabulous website that can give you access to the toolkit. If you need the likes of ODS codes, etc., also DSP, you can just Google it, put DSP toolkit in there, and you'll find it. And just finally, there's Nada's details. So whether it be digital toolkits or consultancy. And I've got to say, there is an absolute massive place for consultants. And why? Because they're not part of your organization. They've got no axe to grind. They've got no emotional baggage. They don't care about housekeeping and all the rest of it and all these other. They just go in, deliver you, and you want someone who's going to be tough love. We've got a local consultant who knocks me around, and I say, come in and, you know, knock 7 bells out of us. And he does, which is great. You want that. You want some tough love. Nada, look, thank you so much. Any final things, Nada, on your side?
So we are running a number of events, and so are other national teams, or local teams rather. So look us up on Eventbrite. Again, if you just go on Eventbrite, put DSPT, and a lot of events will come up. So just book your place. There's plenty of availability. As I said, it's a national program, and it'll just help you complete your toolkit, which is not as bad as it sounds.
I know, that's great. Nada, thank you very much. I'm just going to put it into the green room. Stay there, the green room, Nada, just while I summarize. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, and a huge thanks to Nada for coming on this evening. It is important. You do it once a year. The medicine isn't that bad. So, and particularly if you're about to start out on your digital journey, it's well worth undertaking. But from me, from everyone here at Dinner Circle, we'll see you soon. Of course, we've got our conference coming up on the 13th and 14th of October at the Care Show. So book your tickets, and we'll see you there. Bye for now.